morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today's task would be really fun and exciting if I had gotten all my painting done. But as it stands, I'm gonna probably start this on this episode and finish it on the next one, but that's okay. That's alright. Either way, it's gonna get done, and it's exciting to finally seal up this battery box. So the battery box is about 6 feet wide, about 2 feet long, and so I don't want like one pad to cover all of that, and I think I might actually make the inside of it a little bit more freeform. So instead, I'm making a bunch of little doors, and that starts with some marine plywood that is scrap left over from some of my other jobs. This is going to face the structural inside of the battery box, and on the outside I've cut some cedar strip wood. It's already been run through the table saw twice, so we have nice square edges, so it should give a really tight seal and allow the epoxy to do its work well. However, I've run out of my milled cedar, so I gotta go to shore, and I'll show you how I get my cedar. So yesterday I went and collected some wood. As you can see, a lot of it already has a straight edge, but basically these are the offcuts from Mark's milling operation. Stuff that he would otherwise throw away that's not really worth anything to him. You get a lot of sapwood, you get live edge, you get tree bark, and you get worms. So as you can imagine, most of these things are things I'd rather not use in my boat building project. So I basically spend a considerable amount of time running it through a table saw. But in the end, it's worth it because cedar, red cedar, lightweight, beautiful wood, very expensive. Not so expensive here on the Pacific Northwest, and not so expensive as hardwoods, but still, I don't have a lot of money. Speaking of things that are costing me money, this load of lumber cost me a little bit more than most, because as I put these pieces through, I managed to smash this window. Before you ask, yes, I did my best to not smash my window. In fact, I had it wide open, but you know, accidents happen, and at least this truck doesn't owe me anything. It was so cheap, and I'll probably give it away when I'm done, and that'll be a problem for its future owner. Well, you know, that's not even close to how full I've had this thing, so not really much to talk about here. Okay. I really don't mind carrying the wood out in a dinghy. Buoyancy is an amazing thing, you know? I could just wheel it across the water. I could see why people transported things by water for so long, why canals were built. But sitting on top of a pile of wood and trying to row while it's knocking my ankles feels like I'm going through my growth sprouts all over again. Might be like that. Alright, now the next step of this process, I used to do this the other way around, but I'm going to put the pieces through the miter saw, cut out the length of chunks I need, which for this particular job is very well established. So cut those out, and then I'll run them through the table saw. Okay, so we got the milling done. Nice thing about the milling, it also gives me a lot of firewood to burn. We've got these pieces laid up, so this is the plywood backing, and then underneath we got cedar board there. What I'm going to do is make it some thickened epoxy layer it all over these cedar boards, lay the plywood down on top of it, and then screw from the plywood side into the cedar underneath. And that should make us a nice clean surface on the other side so we can plane it, sand it, round the corners, and then cover it in spar varnish. I've also cut up all the pieces for the staircases on both sides while I was at it, so I'm kind of exhausted already. But we'll do some good epoxy work and then maybe some paint work, and I'll put on an audiobook and just try and take the rest of today a little bit easier because, yeah, I've been working until about 10:30 p.m. every day. Starting to catch up with me.
Looking for a trace of our orchard underground, growing in the basements beneath the brand new town. White horses for Chicago, black water brings me back. It's about the same. I'm swimming in my dreams across the lake. Insane place.
Alright, 4 lids. Done, solid. I put a lip on the side of them. I don't know if you can see that. But what that does is keep it level on the battery box. It keeps it from sliding around. And then I'm going to put some lips on the outside, on the sides of it, sorry, that will keep it from sliding side to side. Should make a nice snug fit. But I want to round out some of these corners before I get too carried away with any sanding. So let's hit it up. Alright, we got 2 coats of primer down on the underside of all of these guys. I'll do some paint tomorrow and then also some spar varnish after some sanding. But that's all tomorrow because I do need to sand next. These need to be totally dry before I can do that. And my neighbors would not be very happy if I started up my sander right now. I was already pushing it with that router tool, so I'll lay it easy tonight, get some editing done, pick this up tomorrow.
Old friend, I think of you still sometimes, sure as the old years blending into you and I looked for a compromise, but you said, did I?
Alright, good morning. Well, we've been busy at work all day so far. Bad news is it's not as sunny and warm as they were predicting on the newscast. They don't really know anything on that newscast. Good news is Mike is here and he's helping.
Hello.
Gotta say something else eventually on this vlog. I can't really sand this stuff yet because it's just gumming up my sand discs. So we're waiting for it to dry off. But yeah, a little bit heavier than I'd like. I think once the cedar cures, it's like an inch thick. So I think once the cedar fully dries, it'll probably shed about 1/3 of its weight right there. So once that's done, it'll be much nicer. It's already a bit lighter today. and I can't wait to have that completely sanded and varnished. It's gonna be nice. So in the meantime, we've laid on some paint over on the starboard side. We're pretty much done now with starboard side paint for at least the 2/3 that we've done so far. What else did we do? You've been milling out these pieces of wood for, well, we're gonna be using that in the future, but this is part of the dish rack set I'm setting up. And lastly, I've been working on the port side companionway staircase, covering it up in cedar, and it's all still wet cedar, so it's got to dry. We'll get to it, but yeah, the top step is done, and it's like really stiff and nice, and the wood looks great, so that's good.
Or I do that 24/7.
Check these out. So the steps are pretty much almost done. We just got to chop off a little bit off of that one, a little bit off of that one, and I'm finishing off this last step down here. But yeah, that'll be nice once it's all sanded and varnished. Yeah. All right. Well, Mike is gone for the day, and sorry to see him go because the kid's doing a lot of good work. Hopefully he's learning something. I hope I'm helping him. But we've got a lot of stuff done. Look at all that paint. It's looking kind of fresh up here. Fresh and clean. Nice. Well, clean maybe is a strong word, but feeling really good about it. Feeling great about this staircase as it's coming in. I don't know. We're not rushing into this one just yet because, man, like cedar is supposed to be a pretty dry wood, but it's just so damn damp. I was expecting a sunny day today. I'm really bummed. It's just been misting and cold and rainy and cruddy, but they don't call it Vancouver for nothing. This is, yeah, it's British Columbia. So half the year it's British where it rains all the time. The other half it's Columbia where it's hot as hell. So beautiful place, love it. But yeah, we're in that British part of the year, and there's just nothing we can do about it. Just rain every day, and it pushes all my plans back, including these guys. Even though all of these guys sat in front of the fire all day today, still not dry, still not quite there. So don't want to gum up any more of my sandpaper discs. I only have so many of those, so I'm gonna let them break, let them dry. In the meantime, I'll wire in some more of my electronics and get some food in me tonight. Take it kind of easy because I'm a little sore.
You meet the young Turks by the beach bridge. All of the lines are fixed. We need to remember what happens if we don't ride it with it. Time, look at the time and what we used to be.
They were standing in the sun.
Signs, what are the signs? Nobody here still reads. I hear the eschaton. I see our stripes on floating ground. No matter what we've been, we are the upshot now. I hear the eschaton. I see our stripes on floating ground. No matter what we've been, we are the upshot now. They're making motors out of 10 stars. Did you think they were ours? There's something in the water, Byzantine, and everyone's down.
I've been doing a lot of painting down here in the port side aft cabin. This is a good tester for how I want to set up all my cabins. In essence, almost all my cabins will be identical. The only difference is the main cabin, the Patreon cabin, hopefully one day, where I'm currently staying, is about twice the size of all the other ones. But this cabin here is the standard size all the other ones will be. And I really like this size. I think it's very cozy. But it's got the same thing that every other cabin in here will have, and that is a couple of AC outlets. A little light switch, a couple of USB ports for charging, and a 12 volt DC outlet for, in this case, a heated blanket. All right, come on. I've set it up so that there's kind of 3 seating areas, 3 shelving areas, and then of course this rear storage bin slash shelving area. Oh, now I've done it. I gotta get these wires through first. Oh, I always do things backwards, don't I? I'll learn one day. All right, let's get the negative on here first. And then, I don't want to, there we go, yeah. So let's put that there. And then, this one here. And lastly, and voila! Okay, I need to get a new terminal for that. But, as you can see, I wanted to make it like I've learned a few things now that I've been living on the boat for a bit. One thing is, it's nice if you're going to be in a really snug little booth like this, if you're going to set up a really small sleeping area, it's good to set up your light switches and outlets and stuff all within reach of you while you're in bed, because stumbling over a bunch of stuff before you get to turn your lights on is always kind of a pain. It's not so bad in a house where you can just like stand up and walk freely, but when you're clambering over a good looking lady laying next to you, well then, you know, it's going to be handy to be able to flip a fan on, plug your phone in, flip the electric blanket on, or turn the lights on, all from bed. All right, so I will shore up this connection. And I'm going to tidy up my work here, but I'm going to leave you guys it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow, I am heading off to my new job. I've got a little part-time job here on the island just to shore up funds, because this haul out coming up is going to be a little expensive, and I've got a lot of materials I need to buy for it, so I'm working a part-time job. That's why the episodes have been a little bit less. YouTube did, you know, they've kind of taken all of our ad revenue, which is a big bummer. Because this YouTube job would have been really, really sick as a full-time gig. But you know what? I can always take a part-time job. I can always do what I want to do. And the point of all this YouTube channel is always to do what I want to do and enjoy it. And you know, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy making the videos, and I do enjoy this project. And I do enjoy talking to you guys. So thanks for watching. And big ups to Patreon, big ups to everyone hitting the wish list. You guys are awesome. You're making this project possible. Thank you so much. Good night. See you tomorrow. See you day after tomorrow.
I hear the eschaton. I see our stripes on floating ground.